Federal financial aid verification is one component of the financial aid process. The financial aid process involves you, your school, and the federal government. The process starts with completing your free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, which is available online at fafsa.gov. The financial aid process can be daunting for some students, so adding more requirements such as verification might make you feel a little overwhelmed. However, after reviewing this tutorial, you will have a better idea of what the verification process is at Maricopa Community Colleges, so that you will feel better prepared for using financial aid to help meet your educational goals at one of our 10 colleges or 2 skill centers. Let's start with defining financial aid verification. Verification is a federally mandated process that uses documentation to confirm that the information provided on your FAFSA is correct. Verification ensures that eligible students receive all of their federal financial aid for which they qualify. No matter which Maricopa Community College you go to, you may be selected for verification, and completion of any requirements is very important. With a definition of verification, you may have more specific questions. For example, you may ask yourself, how will I know if I'm selected for verification? If you are selected for verification by the federal aid processor, on your student aid report, or SAR, there will be an asterisk and a comment next to your expected family contribution, or EFC section. In addition, the Maricopa Community Colleges will notify you of the documentation needed to complete the verification process. Another question you might have is, why was I selected for verification? The federal government randomly selects SARs for the verification process. It does not mean you were singled out or are being punished. It's simply a random double check of your FAFSA application information. You might also ask, if I am selected for verification, am I required to submit additional documentation? The answer is yes. You are required to submit additional documentation if you want your college to consider you for financial aid. If you are selected and do not submit the required documentation, you will not be considered for federal financial aid. Again, remember that the verification process makes sure that only eligible students receive aid for which they qualify. Now that you understand why you may be chosen, you might ask, what additional documentation is required for verification, and where and when do I send the information? To determine what additional information is required for verification, check your to-do list in the Student Center. You can log into your Student Center at My.maricopa.edu. In addition, you will be sent an email notification through your Maricopa email account to help guide you through the process. Remember to submit your documents immediately so the process is not delayed and you know whether or not you will be receiving federal financial aid. Please note that students who submit their FAFSA as well as their verification documents close to the start of a term may be required to make their own tuition payment until they receive their financial aid. So remember to start the FAFSA process as early in the year as possible. Okay, so you turned in your verification documents and you've done everything your college asked. Now your question may be, how long will this take? Your college will compare what you provided against the information on your FAFSA. If corrections are needed, your college will notify the federal aid processor of the correct information. This usually takes just a few days for your college to report the changes to the federal aid processor and receive a response. Once the new results are back from the federal aid processor, or if no corrections are needed, your college will determine an award amount and will package what you are eligible to receive. The financial aid process can be a maze of twists and turns, including having your FAFSA application selected for verification. However, as long as you submit your required verification documents as soon as possible, and you are eligible, you should be awarded your financial aid promptly, and you can move forward with your schooling.